You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. God, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
Hi! I am recording from the beautiful country of Ghana. I'm staying at the Oceanic Resort here in Accra, Ghana, where I am topping up my vitamin D and feeling so energized and vibrant. As you can see, the lovely sea behind me and the sand. I've also brought my products with me, which also helps to energize me. I brought my P84, my Fighter Power X, and the new kid on the block, my Protandu. If you would like to hear more or learn more about these wonderful products that I'm taking, you can either inbox me or click on the link below. Thank you for listening. My health is definitely my wealth. Thank you.
It's so delicious. Like when you eat it, we got greens, meat, fish, everything is in there.
And the tilapia fish, it tastes amazing. Softness, moist, and definitely the taste.
Of the seasoning from Africa. The food is just like back home, from back home. Tastes very good.
I bring the Ghana to England, yeah. Can have, what do you call the ampesi, fufu, chosavi, banku, weche, dollof, Ghana dollof. Oh my God, Ama dollof. Name the food. When you come to Ama to eat, Ama is not do it for you.
When you come to Amersfoort, you get the best chosavi in the whole United Kingdom. London. Yes.
As you can see, I've got short hair and I'm going to put it on and I'll show you the outcome. See you in a bit. And this is the result. And as you can see, I absolutely love it. So yeah, if you're looking for someone who can do really good quality extensions, new pop wigs and wigs, I highly recommend Kamina. Kamina hair.
Welcome to African Hill Resort, the perfect location for your honeymoon, conferences, breakfast meetings, and weekend getaways. Other facilities available include spa, rooftop bar, restaurant, indoor bar, swimming pool, lawn for parties, and outside catering. There is free Wi-Fi connectivity for you to stay in touch with your family, business associates, and the whole world. African Hill Resort is located on the Iveta Hills with a panoramic view of whole township. For inquiries or reservations, call 0208 267 501 or 0209 135 196 or 0362 290.
You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. God, you will be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
I am recording from the beautiful country of Ghana. I'm staying at the Oceanic Resort here in Accra, Ghana, where I am topping up my vitamin D and feeling so energized and vibrant. As you can see, the lovely sea behind me and the sand. I've also brought my products with me, which also helps to energize me. I brought my P84, my Fighter Power X, and the new kid on the block, my Protandu. If you would like to hear more or learn more about these wonderful products that I'm taking, you can either inbox me or click on the link below. Thank you for listening. My health is definitely my wealth. Thank you.
Or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prom Prom, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 07961 248 834 or email dan@gillaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
The best radio show
all around the world. Broadcasting live online. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
Worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Let me take this opportunity to say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and say welcome to the Starr Radio UK Thursday edition of the morning show, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
So from now till exactly 12:30 when we bring the program to a close, I'm going to be your captain. I'm going to be bringing you everything from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. As we say on this platform, if it's making the headlines, be rest assured of one thing: we will bring it to the 4. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. Continue to keep your dials locked on Star Radio UK, because there is something good coming your way from here. Today is the 4th day, June 4. June 4. I remember June 4, 1979. Where were you? Back in Ghana? Those of us who were little, those of you who were old, what did you experience? I'm going to be telling you more about all that as the program goes on. Let me say good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Good morning to Delta Hammond. Good morning to my Mrs. Ryder Hammond. Good morning to you, our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services. For all your accounting issues, as you hear, make sure you get in touch with him and he will sort it out for you. And then let me say good morning to Atako Fi, Niana Najo, all of Ashama, Niana Najo, Chief of Ashaman. I salute you, Ni. I hope you are all doing very, very well. And all the inhabitants of Ashaman as well. I salute each and every one of you there. Massive good morning to you. And let me take the opportunity to once again also say good morning to Eben, all the way in Cape Town, South Africa, and Antonio and the family there. Massive good morning to you. Good morning to Tosino. Good morning to Mr. Lion Koike, Mr. Frank Davis, KB Bossman, Vicky Newton, and all you wonderful people. And the latest addition to the family, that is May Queen of the May Kill Lounge. May Queen, massive good morning to you. I hope you are doing very, very, very well this morning, wherever you are. My love to Curtis and Mommy. I hope you are all doing very, very well there. And let me take this opportunity to say good morning to no other one but the one and only, yes, Brother Felix, all the way in Aberdeen. Captain Felix, let's say good morning to you, and good morning to Reverend Michael Esiama, Bishop Adeshina, good morning. And then to all of you who watch us live on the Koiki Media platforms, Yoruba Nation platforms, United States of Biafra platforms, we salute each and every one of you. And once again, I say welcome to the Thursday edition of the morning show. As I said, I am your one and only
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Okay, so this is how the program is going to be this morning. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as global threatening. Then after which we continue from there exactly at 11:45. The line is activated for you to add your voice to the discussions. The program will continue from then, and then at 12:30, we'll bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in that gist, that's what's going to happen. So wherever you are this morning, tune in to listen to us. Once again, let me tell you this, or let me say it this way. Welcome to the program. This is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right, and with the time now, 16 minutes past the top of the hour. And let's crack on. Now, the quote for the day says what? Stop complaining and start taking action now. Stop complaining and start taking action now. Oh, man. We like sitting in that chair, that rocking chair, and we rock it, and we rock it, and we rock it. In 10 years' time, we rock it, and we are still at the same place. But if you stop complaining and whining about everything around you, you get up, and you get it on, and you do something about that. What about that? Ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, let's move on to the weather front. Well, after scorching hot weather last week and last 2 weeks, well, we are back to the normal. Now, the rest of today will have a mixture of variable clouds, sunny spells, and scattered showers. These heavy at times with risk of thunder. Now, the showers will ease by the late evening. A windy day expected as well. Tonight will be dry with largely clear skies and just a few patches of cloud. Winds will ease overnight. When it comes to the temperature is going to be 18 degrees here in the south London area, and then 10 degrees lowest. Sunset is going to, pollen is going to be low. UV level is going to be, pollen is going to be moderate. UV level moderate. Pollution is going to be low. Sunset 21:11 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 04:47 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. This is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So it is time for us to go on your travels. How is your travels this morning? Where have you been and how have things panned out for you? Well, you want to know? I'm here to tell you more about that, and let's crack on. So what have I got for you? What have I got for you? All right. So, on your travels, as I say, keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads, as to keep you navigated. Our promise, our bond, what do I have there? Bakerloo line is experiencing minor delays between Queen's Park and Elephant and Castle. Bakerloo line severe delays between Queen's Park and Harrow and Wilston due to strike action. A shuttle service is operating approximately every 60 minutes. London Overground are operating a more frequent service between Queen's Park and Harrow and Wilston. Minor delays between Queen's Park and Elephant and Castle services are operating approximately every 6 minutes. So check it out. On the Central line, minor delays there and part suspension as well. And then the second line suspended. The whole line, the entire line is suspended. Bakerloo line, my apologies, just bear with me whilst I go through that. Now, second line is suspended as a Central line is experiencing minor delays and part suspension. Second line suspended. District line suspended. Hammersmith and City, minor delays on the entire line. Metropolitan, minor delays on the entire line and part suspension between Baker Street and Aldgate. On the Northern line, minor delays between High Barnet and East Finchley and Edgware and Golders Green. There are severe delays on the entire line as well. On the Piccadilly line, severe delays between Cockfoster and Annos Grove, and then part suspension between Annos Grove and Uxbridge, Annos Grove and Heathrow Terminals 5 and Heathrow Terminals 4 to Annos Grove. And then on the Victoria line, we got minor delays on the entire line, and the Waterloo and City lines are suspended. The whole line, the entire line is suspended. That aside, all the overground lines are running a good service. London, Tramlink, good service. DLR, good service there. Let's go to the major roads and let me tell you what is happening there. As well, as we say, keep your eyes on the roads. As we did say earlier on, the Silvertown Tunnel is still experiencing serious delays until, traffic is slow moving westbound over Lower Lee Crossing with tailbacks from Tidal Basin Road. So expect delays there. The Limot Road, due to utility works that is going on there, that is what is causing all this there. So please check it out. Lane 1 and 2 closures on the approach to the runabout during utility works, and that's bringing about those tailbacks. So if you can avoid that, do your best to do so. That aside, there are no exceptional delays on any of the other major roads. Now on the riverbanks this morning as well, there's good service throughout. The London cable car is also experiencing a good offering good services, taking us straight to the final segment of the travel update, and that is the National Rail. And what have I got there for you? On the National Rail this morning, Southwestern Railway and Southern are all offering special services. That aside, all the others are running a good service. And as I will say it as a normally word, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? One thing that you got to do, keep your eyes still on the roads. All right, then we'll take a break, and once we come back, I will be taking you global trotting. But until then, let's take this quick break, and we will be back with you. Starr Radio UK. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you will be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
I am recording from the beautiful country of Ghana. I'm staying at the Oceanic Resort here in Accra, Ghana, where I am topping up my vitamin D and feeling so energized and vibrant. As you can see, the lovely sea behind me and the sand. I've also brought my products with me, which also helps to energize me. I brought my P84, my Phytopower X, and the new kid on the block, my Protandem. If you would like to hear more or learn more about these wonderful products that I'm taking, you can either inbox me or click on the link below. Thank you for listening. My health is definitely my wealth. Thank you.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. This is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to exactly 11:25, and then we are going on to Global Trotting to tell you some of the stories making the rounds across the globe this morning. And rest assured, I'm bringing everything to you. But kicking off from home here in the UK, what have I got for you? Avoid reactive police reforms after no work murder. A senior black officer has warned. The head of the National Black Police Association says proposed changes to racism guidance are not well thought out. Well, so should there still be a two-tier system, or as they are saying, well, depending on the color of your skin, you get maybe a preferential treatment, as they are saying, or well, I mean, there are guidelines, but when you get on the field, on the ground, you need to use your communal church. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe the correct common sense that I'm saying. So you think outside the box. What do you do after about a particular situation? But I don't know. I'm not a police officer. Yes, let me say good morning to David and Megan, my neighbors who are police officers. Massive good morning to you. And my little princess herself, who's going to be 2 pretty soon in September. It's going to be 2. Who can that one be? Mev, Princess Mev, good morning to you. And let me take the opportunity to also say good morning and happy birthday, belated one, to my own granddaughter. Yes. Brielle, good morning to you all the way in Ghana. I hope you are doing very, very well. And your mom, Denise, and your dad, Emmanuel, I hope you are all doing very, very well. The Opons, a massive good morning to you all there. New NHS drug offers ovarian cancer patients more time and better quality of life. And NHS staff should be banned from wearing pro-Palestinian badges, report recommends. Okay, we'll be looking into that as well. Star Radio UK. Teenager given life sentence for knife murder while on bail for slashing somebody's throat. We're going to be telling you more about all that as the program goes on. It's all coming away from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, in the US, what have we got there for you? That's from other parts of the world as we go on. Just bear with me. On Easy Neighbors, can 3 World Cup hosts put differences aside for a month? The tournament comes after a period of fractious relations between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Now, U.S. House has delivered rebuke to Trump as it votes to halt Iran war, and then Trump to nominate Blanche for Attorney General on permanent basis. Crazy phone call between Trump and Netanyahu complicates Iran talks. What is crazy about that? And why Canada has generic Ozempic and the US doesn't? Senate Republicans ask $1 billion for Trump's new White House ballroom. Oh boy. And ex-UK political aide and Biden cabinet secretary lead California governor primary vote count. Those are some of the stories making the round. SpaceX says it's worth $1.75 trillion as it targets largest stock market debut. Okay, let's see. Maybe we invest there. Well. So coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So coming your way, and where am I? Okay. Trump is putting pressure on Cuba. Why and to what end? Well, Cubans grapple with fuel shortages and blackout as U.S. steps up pressure. There are some of the stories making the rounds in the past few days, but we'll be telling you more about all that as we go on. This is Starr Radio UK. So moving on. Ukraine accused of killing 4 in occupied Crimea. At least 10 people have been injured in the attacks, according to Russian-blacked officials. And Putin remains uncompromising. We did talk about that yesterday. Germany blames Russia for bitter defeat in UN Security Council bid. And Man City considers legal action after Haaland claim. And Henry Nowak medal. Okay, those are stories making the rounds here. Let's move on to other parts of the world as well. In Asia, miracle on Everest. Guide believed dead spotted crawling down ice. Cleaners found Dawa Shepherd crawling towards base camp 6 days after he went missing at a higher altitude. Resilience there. Now, costly fuel pushes more Indians to buy electric cars, but challenges remain. Where do you get the power to power it? Okay, or charge it. And then in other stories making the round, litter bags now face on the spot fines in Tokyo tourist hotspot. Why not? Go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. You come to my house and my house is clean. I don't expect you to be littering in my house. And therefore, if you do so, boy, you need to be seen to, right? All right then. Starr Radio UK. When it comes to the Middle East issues going on, Israel and Lebanon have agreed to renew their fragile ceasefire and create a number of pilot security zones inside Lebanon in which Hezbollah operatives will be banned. The U.S. State Department has announced, and we're going to be telling you more about that as the program goes on. All right then. So in the Middle East, clashes continue in Lebanon despite Israel's and Israeli Prime Minister orders strikes on Beirut suburbs as Hezbollah conflict escalates. Moving on to Africa now to look at some other stories making the rounds there. Bringing the time now 11:32, and it is no other place but Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time 11:32. Heavy gunfire in Somalia capital as row over election delay escalate. The opposition has called for protests after the president's term in office was extended by a year. Let's see how that pans out with all these wars and all this going on. How rise of lab-grown diamonds has affected Sierra Leone miners. Lab-grown diamonds. Interesting. And 4 sentenced to death for killing worshippers at the Catholic Church in Nigeria. And then the other stories making the rounds as we go on the African front. Yes. And what have I got for you there? So on the African front, so Mali restricts 125cc plus motorcycles amid jihadist insurgency. Mali's military-led government has announced sweeping its restrictions on motorcycle as it battles worsening jihadist insurgency. And Tanzania president visits Russia amid trade ties with the West. Samia Suluhu. And then Benin president visits Niger, Burkina Faso following coup tensions, as we did say earlier on there. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. All right then. As I said earlier, one of the stories making the round, Mogadishu's resident flee as gunfire breaks out near the house of the president or house of parliament. Okay. Now in Nigeria as well, please give fresh update on kidnapped ex-minister Adelabu relative in Ibadan and court sentenced 4 men to death. And then the MBS Nigeria are attracted 10.37 billion capital inflows in Q1. Peter Obi begs Nigerian youth to cease attacks against Pastor Adeboye. Atiku backs Khan's security reform demands as Muslim leaders to join campaign and ask Muslim leaders to join campaign. That's what he's saying. And in Ghana as well, today being June 4, and I tell you that people will be remembering the late Jerry Rollins, who embarked on that journey. But hey, what have we got for you? 11 years on, June 3 disaster victims cry for 40 million damage, 50 million Ghana cedis damages. They've not received that yet. And Blaze and Golf shops opposite Accra Central Police Station. Girlfriend of deceased police inspector who was busted for stealing or what? I'll be telling you more. Want to meet trial court to deliver judgment on July 3. How is it going to go? To the left, to the right, to the middle? How do you see it all? US ICE releases details of Ghanaians facing deportation for West of the West crimes. Okay. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. All right then. Heavy rains in Accra put street lights poles onto Oyarifa Highway, causing gridlock and damage. And then 1 dead or severely injured after building collapsed at Adenta new site during heavy rains. And Summer Boy case D-Day for Wuntumi set for July 3. Konfuanochi Teaching Hospital resumes admission of critical emergency cases after congestion relief measures. And President Mahama does not order arrest. Tamima Muslims reject claims. Okay, and Accra's flooding crisis is self-inflicted, says who? Ghana Institution of Engineers president. Well, the Ghana president, the president of the Republic of Ghana, on his visit to the UK last week, or he's in the UK. I don't know whether he's left yet though, but on Sunday in the town hall meeting, they stressed the fact that people build in the waterways, people chuck stuff in the gutters and drains, and then when it rains, it floods. And you say, government, oh government. Meanwhile, if government goes after those who have built properties or put buildings in the waterways and break them down, you say, the government, see, a very nice building, and the government has broken it down. What do you think about all that? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more coming your way. Stay tuned. You will be allowed to add your voice to the discussions wherever you might be. You can post it on the platform that we are broadcasting on at the moment, or when at 11:45, you can also call in via Teams. Just call us Starr Radio UK, and you find us there. All right. For now, let's take a break. Once we come back, we will bring you more and more and more of the stories making the rounds, or the details of the stories making the rounds this morning. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
As you can see, I've got short hair, and I'm going to put it on and I'll show you the outcome. See you in a bit. And this is the result. And as you can see, I absolutely love it. So yeah, if you're looking for someone who can do really good quality extensions, new pop wigs and wigs, I highly recommend Kamina. Kamina hair.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say order, you say fire.
Fire on the mountain, and let's go. Okay. Avoid reactive police reforms after Novak murder senior police officer has warned. Okay, now let's look at it. Let's look at the details of this story, because it's quite one that is, should I say, touchy? The excesses when it comes to policing. Should there be a two-tier system? That so it's quite an interesting one. The head of the National Black Police Association has warned police forces are at risk of making not well thought out changes to anti-racism guidance following the murder of Henry Nowak. Andy George, a police service of Northern Ireland Chief Inspector, said that on today's program that the move to redraft an anti-racism commitment in light of the case was reactive. His comments came after former Home Secretary Jack Straw told Telegraph there had been an overcorrection within policing after the 1993 murder of black teenager Stephen Lawrence. He said much greater care was needed with the police race guidance and claimed vocal pressure groups had exerted too much influence. The murder of 18-year-old student Henry Nowak and subsequent police response have prompted accusation of so-called two-tier system of policing by some. Now, Nowak was arrested by police officers as he lay dying after his attacker, 23-year-old Sikh man Vikram Digwa, falsely claimed that he had been racially abused by the student. Let me say good morning to my baby sister Delta. Delta, morning to you. Hope you are doing very well. And my love to mom. Hope you are all doing good. All right. Now, Digwa was jailed for life with a minimum of 21-year term on Monday, while the Independent Office for Police Conduct, the IOPC, is investigating the response of officers. There has been a particular scrutiny of the National Police Chiefs Council anti-racism commitment, which states that ensuring racial equality in policing does not mean treating everyone the same or being color blind. The NPCC said it was reviewing the wording after opposition politicians pointed to it as evidence of unequal standards in policing. The Home Secretary supports the review. Now, asked about the changes to guidelines being proposed this week, George said there's definitely lessons to be learned from the Henry Nowak case, and if the police watchdog sees through their thorough investigation that there are things that need to be done and changed, then certainly that's the time when things should be looked at. For us to go forward and for the policing minister to say that needs to be corrected or looked into right now, for us, we've pushed for things that impact black communities or black individuals. We've never seen policing move as quick as what they're advocating for right now. So I would say it's definitely an auto-correction, or I would term it, as here as a presenter, a knee-jerk reaction. It's very swift. It's quick. I don't think it is all well thought out as it should be. I think it is reactive to the current swell that we're seeing in social media and across different areas of public life at the minute. Now, in 2024, the association George Lees withdrew its support for the race action plan, which included the commitment being reviewed this week over what it said was lack of dialogue with black officers. Now, Starr was Home Secretary when the McPherson report was published, which branded the Metropolitan Police institutionally racist in the wake of Stephen Lawrence's murder. He told the Telegraph that things were out of kilter at the time of McPherson's report, adding there was no question about that, but sometimes you get reactions which go too far for far the other way. That's obviously happened here. Now, Baroness Kishwa Faulkner, the former chair of the Equality and Human Rights Commission, said there had not been an overcorrection in policing standards, but agreed a perception of unfairness had been established for parts of the community. She accused the police forces and other public organizations of trying to virtue signal and said that could result in a breakdown of impartiality and public trust and confidence. She also called for unconscious bias training in public bodies to be scrapped because it's proving not to work. We got people who are proper racists. The sight of you only makes them go poof and begin to do all sorts. However, for the police officers to get on the scene and somebody who is lying down and saying, I've been stabbed, I think the first thing that they need to do is to check whether the person has actually been stabbed. Though someone was accusing him of being racist or racist abuse, okay, the person is lying down on the floor or standing or whatever. Don't you check if the person is okay? But let me say kudos to some police officers that I came across a couple of weeks back when they were arresting somebody, and then they would say, oh no, they need to make sure if the person was okay, and they were asking lots of questions about whether the person even taking medication and blah blah blah, and making sure that person was okay. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, that is something that has been taught true, but is it because the person was black? So in this case, shouldn't they have done the same thing here? Oh well, let's see what the change is going to be, and let's see how the racist beats in there. We're also going to be reacting towards that. But a reaction that come from various quarters, what do you think about that? Reform leader Nigel Farage says that, well, there's a two-tier policing system, and of course, you know, we did talk about stop and search and all those bits, and at times I do ask myself the question, when our kids are moving around and they are stopping them, that, well, and we call it profiling. At times, I do say that if I've got nothing to hide, I shouldn't fear if I'm being stopped. However, there are incidents where people are stopped and they racist undertones of the questions and the aggression and everything that the person is trying to do coming from that bit. That is where the problem is. But can we get everybody to say that everybody is free and fair? No, it is never so. So we have people who will see you and then they say, oh, that. I say, yeah, this is me. What can I do for you? And they ask you the questions. They check. Oh, everything is okay. Boom. Then you go. After all, they are doing their work. But when you see people saying they stopped a few times when we have issues where somebody have been stopped with their kid. What was this athlete and the wife and their kid who were in the car coming from a training training that day, and on their way, and the police stopped them, and they were trying to, and although they come out of the car, and then the other time was it yesterday or the day before, and then once my wife said, "You've not been listening to your friend, my friend that is talking about is a comedian who is most of the time on, or is it on TikTok or this, and he says that in the US, and he says please stop a man, and he said that, hey." And they said they asked his name, blah blah blah, and they said they are looking for somebody who has done something, and he looks. They think that is him or blah blah blah, and they're telling him to step out of the car. They said apparently they are looking for some drugs. They said, oh, he's also looking for somebody. Then he said he should step out of the car. The man said, well, I'm not stepping out of the car. The last time a black man stepped out of the car, he never came back into the car. So those are things. I mean, but this is just comic or a joke there. But when you are a police officer and you come on the scene of a crime, I don't think that you have to be using, just being in the box. You have to think outside the box, because at times you've been given a rule that this is what's supposed to be. However, when you get on the ground you find out that there are bits that you have to be outside the box to be able to do it. And that is where I have a problem with. But the exorcist, boy, how can you say? And again, when it comes to our communities, like I was saying earlier on, and our kids who are doing the stabbings, who are stabbing who? Our kids are stabbing themselves, the black community. Okay? So if you have the police stopping that child and checking whether he's carrying a knife or anything that is going to be used or might be used on someone else or taking somebody's life, and they stop them and they take that one off, what is wrong? And if they stop a kid and they find out that no, that kid has not got anything on themselves, then, at least they have to apologize for that. However, one of the things is, when our kids are stopped like that, there is that aggression. There's that aggression. But if you're not carrying anything, don't worry. They can't. Listen, we live in a world where now, anything that is going on, somebody somehow, some way is using a camera and videoing or passing by and unless of course they're taking you to some hideout and doing stuff to you, and that's a different ball game. But in this situation, in situations like this, I know for sure that if they stop you and they are frisking you and doing all that stuff, and it's not the right thing, they will be found wanting. However, if you've not got anything to hide, let them do whatever they want to do. Let them check. They're not going to hit you. But when they say stop, and then the child doesn't want to, and they try to struggle or be punching or something, and then they will force the child on the ground and all that stuff. And that is where the aggression bits comes in from the police. Meanwhile, they'll finish and you find out that child has not got anything. So why didn't you stop in the first place? Get it? Okay, so I have nothing to hide. No problem. Stop. I've stopped. What do you want from me? They will ask you. You can tell them. Like I said, unless of course they say follow us or we are taking you to some corner and then frisking you there, boy. Then that is dangerous. That is dangerous. But I think that people should be. The police should treat everybody fairly. It doesn't matter whether you are black or green or blue, as I am. I am blue. Or whatever it is, you need to be treated fairly. Okay? You need to be treated fairly. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK. So that's what the story is making the rounds. So should please hierarchy take a knee-jerk reaction and come boom, 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 and just change everything because we have one of the opposition parties, Reform Party, Nigel Farage, going on and saying that there's a two-tier system, and therefore when blacks are or minority are arrested, they are treated differently. Now, you say so. Is it only blacks? What about the Jews who are here? What about the Muslim community? What about other communities who are minorities here? Okay. Let me call it as a Muslim community. I've not said it right, but let's say people from Pakistan, people from other places, and then people from Africa, where we are all categorized as blacks. Okay. Okay, so there should be a fair treatment of it. If I accuse somebody of saying something, the fact that I've accused the person doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be forcibly handcuffed and all those. No, at least some questioning should go on. Ascertain whether I'm okay. Yes, it might be that I've done something, but maybe if you don't take care of me, I'm going to die, and therefore, or whatever. Justice that the person has to see is not going to see it. Catch my drift? And therefore, it's very, very important that measures are put in place, that the right thing is done, that they can think outside the box. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK. 6 minutes to the top of the hour. That's 6 minutes to 12. That means I've got about 36 minutes to bring the whole program to a close. But wherever you are, this is Star Radio UK.
This is Star Radio UK.
If you want to call in, feel free to do so. Or you want to post your comments on our platform, feel free to do so. I just post it on the platform that we are broadcasting on, or you can check in by calling the studio line via Teams. Look for Star Radio UK and you get us there.
Call the studio now.
All right, now let's move on. Let's move on to some other stories making the rounds this morning here in London. In reaction to that, Starr has accused Musk of trying to whip up division on Henry Nowak murder. And I remember when there was that the stabbing of the three school kids in I've forgotten the place, but yeah, I think 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And then we had Elon Musk sitting on the platform, and they're saying that because there is a two-tier system of and therefore that's why the person went on to do so, and stoking. Once again, the Prime Minister is saying that he is accusing the tech billionaire Elon Musk of trying to whip up division over the murder of Henry Nowak. Recently released footage shows police handcuffing Nowak as he lay dying, despite the 18-year-old repeatedly telling officers he could not breathe. His killer, Vikram Digwa, had claimed he had been the victim of a racist attack. Is it bashing your head, or what? What did he do? What's a racist attack? Is it insult? Okay. Now, violent protests erupted near the site of the murder in Southampton. An ex-owner, Musk, has posted several times on the site criticizing the police treatment of the teenager. In a visit to York on Thursday, Sakir accused Musk of interfering in British politics and stressed the grieving family had appealed for calm. He said, "We need to also assert who we are as a country, because Musk again has been interfering in our politics in the last few days, trying to whip up division. That is not where we are in Britain. In Britain, we are reasonable, tolerant people. When we have a terrible case like Henry's case, Henry Nowak, we react calmly, as his family have done. But what do? He's got the money, therefore decide he's above the law, and that's anything that he wants, and he's got all the lawyers to do. Can he be held accountable for anything that he done that is contrary to the rules in this part of the world? And you know, there are people who troop to his side saying that, yeah, he's championing our cause. What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In one other good story coming from here in the UK, pertains to the drug that has been approved to be used for ovarian cancer. So those who are suffering from it, let me bring that your way and then we'll move on. A breakthrough drug for ovarian cancer that is kind of on the body and extends life is now available on the NHS. The drug called Mevataximab soravastine is known as a biological missile, as it delivers chemotherapy drugs direct to the cancerous tissues rather than to the whole body, reducing debilitating side effects. Patricia Hill, 64, said the treatment was allowing her to do things like visiting family and going to the theater that were impossible on conventional chemotherapy. Up to 400 patients a year in England could benefit from the new treatment, the first for her to treat ovarian cancer in 20 years. There are nearly 7,750 cases of ovarian cancer in the UK each year. So that is a good breakthrough there. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let's go on. In the US as well, the U.S. House of Representatives have passed a measure that seeks to halt President Donald Trump from taking further military action in Iran. The 215 to 208 vote, which is largely symbolic, was successful after 4 Republicans joined Democrats in a public show of disapproval of the war, which began in February. The vote was to adopt the War Powers Resolution, which requires Trump to withdraw U.S. forces or seek congressional approval for the conflict. It is unclear how much legal force this House measure would have. The White House has dismissed the merits of the resolution, saying it is an unconstitutional attempt to restrict presidential power. But its passing is significant because it adds to the pressure on the White House to find an end to the Iran war, as petrol prices have spiked and public opposition to the war has increased. Now, this was the 4th attempt by the House to rein in Trump's war powers. The Senate advanced a similar resolution in May, but has yet to hold a full floor vote. The measure considered on Wednesday was a concurrent resolution. If it is also passed by the Republican-controlled U.S. Senate, it will not require the president's signature, though it could be subject to a legal challenge. The vote on Wednesday was marked the latest sign of division within the Trump Republican Party, coming just days after a revolt by conservatives in Congress led his administration to pull back plans for a $1.8 billion anti-weaponization fund for political allies. In the House, Republican Thomas Massey, Brian Fitzpatrick, Tom Barrett, and Warren Davidson joined the United Front from Democrats to pass Wednesday's resolution. Democrat Jared Gordon of Maine, who had previously voted against similar measures, gave his support this time. Now, Congress alone declares war. That's something certainly we need to be protective of. Barrett, a Republican from Michigan, said, as if he was worried about retribution from Trump for his vote. Barrett said, I vote my conscience for what I think it is right and willing to accept that. Well, you know that once that is done, Trump is going to weaponize that against you when it comes to the primaries and make sure that the midterm elections, he's going to make sure that you lose big time. 2 minutes past the top of the hour, the time, the morning show, the program. This is Starr Radio UK. And we move on. Now, relating to the war in the U.S. Israel against Iran war, okay, we can say that because they are the ones on the battlefront, of course. Well, okay, the one that I wanted to bring as leader, I'm going to bring that your way in a moment, but wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. But, well, the World Cup is supposed to kick off in a couple of days' time. Call it a week plus. But think of it as being like a dinner party where the hosts are in the midst of a tense argument when you arrive. Now, football fans traveling to North America for the continent first co-hosted World Cup will find 3 host countries who have endured a tense time. The tournament, which will take place across sprawling 16 host cities and 3 countries, comes after a period of fractious relations between its hosts, the US, Canada, and Mexico. The underlying issues seemed distant when the country's leaders met for the draw in Washington, D.C. in December and posed for a selfie with FIFA boss Gianni Infantino. But teaming up for a full 39-day tournament is likely to be a different ball game. U.S. President Trump has been unashamedly open about the fact that the U.S. is the dominant power on the continent. That means the very real tension between the 3 nations on issues such as trade, immigration, and drug trafficking, which have all simmered since Trump returned to office, could spill back into view. On the other hand, get it right, and the World Cup could forge closer ties between the trio. Now, what do you think is going to happen there? And are you on your way to that tournament? Well, the World Cup. Have you acquired your visa? Where are you staying? And are you going to make sure that at the end of the day you are able to come back quickly? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 4 minutes past 12 the time, the morning show, the program. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Okay. Now, Germany's foreign minister says support for Ukraine and Israel may have cost votes after Berlin failed to secure a rotating support on the UN Security Council. Johann Wadephal described losing out to Portugal and Austria as a bitter defeat after a vote on which countries would become one of the 5 new members of the council was held on Wednesday evening. There is a firm support for Ukraine. The fact that Russia does not want such a voice at the Security Council, Wadephal said, adding it was no secret Russia has stirred up sentiments against Germany. There are 5 permanent members on the UN Security Council: China, France, Russia, the UK, and the US, and 10 temporary ones. We have always taken a clear stance on certain issues, and these are positions that not all member states share, Wadephal said. The fact that Germany must always assume a special responsibility for Israel in the Middle East conflict may also have caused votes, he said. Now, Wadephal also in part blamed his country's late entry into the race for the 2-year term on the Security Council. Now, Russia has not responded to accusation it lobbied against Germany's membership. Germany secured 104 votes in its push for one of the 2 places of the council for the Western European and other group, with Portugal getting 134 votes in its favor and Austria 131 votes. Kyrgyzstan's Trinidad and Tobago and Zimbabwe were also elected to the Security Council, which is the only UN body that can make legally binding decisions such as imposing sanctions and authorizing use of force. Missing out on the spot is a blow for Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz. He has been beleaguered at home and now embarrassed abroad. His critics in the opposition party say, given he has advertised himself as a man who will boost Germany's standing on the international stage, Merz said Germany would continue to be a firm supporter of the international system and congratulated Austria and Portugal. This result does not alter the task we face as the United Nations. Germany remains a reliable pillar of the multilateral system, he said. Was it the right thing to get Germany out, or do you think Germany should have been added to that? What do you think is going to happen there? It's going to be quite an interesting one, right? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. All right. Now let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, moving on to other parts of the world as well. This time around in Europe, the war in Ukraine. Well, Ukraine has been is accused of killing 4 people in the occupied Crimea. The Russia-backed authorities in the occupied region of Crimea in Ukraine says at least 4 people have been killed in the latest wave of Ukrainian strikes on the peninsula. 3 people were killed and 7 wounded in one of the attacks on what were described as non-residential facilities in the regional capital, Simferopol. It appears to be the first attack resulting in fatalities there. In a separate incident, 1 person was killed and 3 injured in an attack on the commuter train traveling to the city of Kesh, the Russia-installed Crimea leader said. Ukraine has not commented. It marks the 3rd day in a row it had been accused of targeting civilian transport in its occupied territories. Kyiv recently expanded its attacks on inside Russia too. So let's see. Would that maybe some way, somehow bring Putin to the table to say, you know what, let's let sleeping dogs lie, or it'll just still be going on unabated. 9 minutes past the top of the hour at a time. The morning show, the program, Starr Radio UK, the station. Yes, your favorite African and Caribbean station in London. And I am Archie, your man.
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Well, grab what you can while you can. The new reality in the South China Sea. And what does that really mean? Let me bring some details of that your way and then we can move on. The Antelope Reef is a small teardrop-shaped island in the northwestern corner of the South China Sea and until recently almost entirely underwater. But this year it has undergone a dramatic transformation. Millions of tons of sand have been dredged from the seabed to create solid land, from being only a turquoise speck on the map. Antelope Reef now appears as a 6 square kilometer or 2.3 square mile precinct of gleaming white sand and a scattering of buildings in one corner, all in just 6 months. Would you like to live there? When a tsunami kicks in. All right. In a lagoon formed by the crescent dozens of ships can be in the lagoon formed by the crescent dozens of ships can be seen. Now these are almost certainly Qatar-sanctioned dredges, of which China has the world's largest fleet. Some of them can scoop up to 6,000 cubic meters an hour, enough to fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The extraordinary speeding of this dredging operation is probably some kind of world record. But China is not the only one doing this. After years of watching China creating land to back its expansive territorial claims, Vietnam too is now building up some of the reefs it holds in the South China Sea, to a lesser extent that other claimants like the Philippines are doing the same. Antelope Reef is the Paracel Island, Antelope Reef is the Paracel Islands, which together with the Spratleys are disputed territory claimed by China, Taiwan, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei. Most of the islands are as Antelope was until the year submerged reefs, which in the past had no human settlement. Now China took control of the Paracels back in 1974 after a fierce battle with what were then South Vietnamese forces. Now more recently, it dredged 3 reefs in the Spratleys, Mischiefs, Fiery Cross, and Sabi, turning them into islands big enough to construct airports and military bases and claiming almost the entire South Sea as its sovereign territory within the infamous 9-dash line late has drawn on the map. Now, swarms of China Coast Guards and maritime militia ships now patrol inside the 9-dash line, overwhelming attempts by other claimants to challenge China's supremacy. In recent years, there have been several clashes with much smaller Philippines Coast Guards in areas they both claim. The straight line urged on the newly made beaches on Antelope Reefs suggests China may be building another military-grade runway there, similar to those on Mischief, Fiery Cross, and Sabi Reefs. But they already have a well-established airstrip near by on Woody Island, building another in an area close to the big Chinese military bases on Hainan seems superfluous. Instead, China may be sending a message to Vietnam. Now, which country can stand China? You know, when it comes to this, it's quite interesting. Which country? I don't think even Russia can. But as we say, we know Russia has got lots of nuclear. I know the Chinese have got as well. But as to what quantity? And you look at the might, financial might of the Chinese, then it seems to be dwarfing Russia. But we know that the US has more, and they have nuclear, and then they have economic power as well. So let's see. But the old good Bob Marley sang the song, say, and when will it all end? Looks like total destruction is the only solution, and that seems to be the trend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK at 12:15, and we have another 15 minutes to bring the program to a close. But I'll be rest assured of one thing: I'm going to make sure I bring you everything that you need to know this morning. Let's take a break, and I'll be with you. Just bear with me.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
Do you or anyone you know suffer with oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is a condition where your body produces too many free radicals, which can damage cells and lead to health problems. Diseases caused by oxidative stress include heart disease, blood disorder, diabetes, arthritis, stroke, chronic fatigue, neurodegenerative disease, premature aging, autoimmune disorders, etc. Health is real wealth. Move, nourish, thrive. Need help? Call me for more information on +4 4 7 4 2 4 4 8 9 5 7 8.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the final segment of the morning show. And where do we go to? All right then. Okay. In the last 14 hours, Donald Trump has become the latest U.S. president to find himself at odds with Benjamin Netanyahu after reportedly clashing with the Israeli Prime Minister over military action in Lebanon that has thrown Washington, Iran's diplomacy into crisis. Now, Tehran responded to Israel's strikes on Lebanon by threatening to suspend talks with the U.S., a potential setback to Trump's effort to extricate himself from an unpopular war with Iran. Now, Trump was asked by journalists about Axios report that he had called Netanyahu effing crazy and accused him of ingratitude during phone call on Monday. He said, I did. Trump told the Port Force, one podcast in an interview broadcast on Wednesday. I wouldn't say angry. I was a little bit perturbed at his constantly fighting with Lebanon. Now Trump added, I like Bibi a lot and I work very well with him. Now he will be far from the only U.S. president to tangle with the Israeli Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has a long history of testing the White House patience and politically surviving any fallout. The latest report clash came as Trump mouths a deal that would extend the U.S.-Iran ceasefire and open the doors to talks on the future of Tehran's nuclear program. The reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, a vital global shipping lane, is also at stake. Netanyahu laughed off any suggestion of tensions with his American allies. He said, sometimes we have, as is in the best of families, you have these tactical disagreements, he said in an interview on Wednesday. He said, we always find a way to work them out, and we do so as great friends. He added that the two can disagree in the morning and be in agreement by afternoon. Experts, however, cautioned that the call could point to frustration in the White House over the alignment of U.S. and Israeli military and political goals nearly 100 days after these launched strikes on targets in Iran on the 28th of February. Netanyahu has a long history of doing his own dance, irrespective of what he has heard from Washington. Brett Byrne, former diplomat and president of the Crisis Communication Agency, the Global Situation Room, said, Trump decided to take the plunge with him and is now learning a really hard lesson about what happens when you get into war with a pretty mercurial leader that has an agenda which doesn't always align with your own priorities, he added. Well, so what is agenda? Are they falling out? And what is the end of it? Maybe he's seeing that Trump is a bit upset. We'll make him sit up and then find a way to stop what is going on, because he's looking at the attacks on Lebanon. Well, we know he's fighting Hezbollah, but going into Lebanon to be destroying part of it. Well, he says that let's see. And we'll definitely see. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. Well, in Mogadishu this morning, there seemed to be some government forces and opposition fighters have exchanged heavy gunfire in Somalia's capital Mogadishu as a row over delays to elections has escalated. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's term in office ended on the 15th of May, but was extended by a year. The opposition said this was unconstitutional and called for a protest on Thursday. Now, gunfire was reported in several neighborhoods of the capital and persisted throughout the night, according to the accounts of by residents. My apologies. Now, police said they were conducting a large-scale security operation against heavy armed militias who launched mortar attacks in some areas. Following the expiry of the president's term, the federal government and the opposition started talks but did not reach an agreement. President Mohamud has been attempting to move Somalia towards democratic elections, replacing a system in which clan elders choose MPs who in turn select a president. So Somalia last held one person or one vote election in 1969 and had been ravaged by civil war for more than 30 years. Now, former Prime Minister Hassan Ali Kiari said he had been attacked by government forces while he and other leaders were preparing for Thursday's peaceful demonstration. The responsibility for any casualties of damage resulting from this incident lies with the president, whose term has expired. So he's an expired president. However, there have been some changes for him. So what do you think about all that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, 11:23. Now, let's skip through some of the stories making the rounds as we prepare ourselves to bring the program to a close. In Nigeria this afternoon, updates on the police. Okay. The Oyo State Police Command has intensified efforts to rescue the younger sister of former Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, and his twin sons after they were kidnapped by gunmen in Ibadan on Wednesday morning. The victims, Mrs. Busayo John Paul, and her 12-year-old twin boys, Peter and Paul, were reportedly seized by armed men around 7:30 a.m. while she was driving the children to school along the busy Ring Road area of the Oyo State capital. The security operatives have since recovered the vehicle used by the victims before the abduction, while tactical units have been deployed across strategic locations. As investigation continues, confirming the development, the police public relations officer in Oyo State, Olayinka Ayalande, said the commissioner of police immediately ordered a coordinated response after receiving reports of the incident. According to him, officers attached to the challenge division alongside other tactical teams were mobilized to the scene where the abandoned vehicle was recovered. But the question that I will pose again, as I normally do, is if it were ordinary citizens, would they have gotten the same attention by the police and the security forces as these ones are getting? Is it because his brother was a former minister of power? Well, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. As I said, we're venturing into the end of the program at 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Now, interestingly, just bear with me. All right. Now, 11 years on, after the June 3 disaster, you remember that June 3 disaster that happened in Accra Circle, Kwame Nkrumah Circle area. 11 years after the devastating June 3 Circle disaster, families of the 150 lives that perished and hundreds who got injured are still chasing the shadows of the 40 million compensation following a protracted legal battle. The press conference and red laying conference ceremony held at the disaster site yesterday to commemorate the tragedy, the lawyer of the victims, Etonam Caleb Afutu, disclosed that the demand for compensation for the affected person had been dragging on in court for the past 8 years. Now, lawyer Afutu explained that the victims were seeking 40 million Ghana cedis compensation from the National Petroleum Authority and Goil PLC for the loss of 150 lives, injuries, and destruction of property caused by a disaster which was a blot on the nation. He explained that although the legal process had been lengthy, significant progress had so far been made in the case. The June 3, 2015 disaster remains one of Ghana's worst national tragedies. The incident occurred when the flood waters engulfed parts of Accra following a downpour, forcing many people to seek shelter at a Goil filling station near Kwame Nkrumah Circle. On the fateful night, floodwaters, fuel, and fire conspired, triggering a massive explosion that wreaked havoc on innocent souls and property and left lasting scars on survivors. The annual wreck-laying ceremony serves as a reminder of the life lost and the need for continued efforts to secure justice and support for the affected communities. However, who and what are the causes of this flood that we see? And I've got for you one person who has come out to say it as it is. And who can that person be? Who can that person be? It's no other one but the president of the Ghana Institute of Engineers, Engineer Ludwig Anan Hesse. He has warned that Accra's worsening flooding crisis is largely the result of decades of poor planning, 1, environmental degradation, 2, and irresponsible human activities, insisting that the city has brought this on itself. Speaking this morning, he said the capital has become so predictable that it no longer requires any special warnings. These days, we do not need a prophet to tell us that when it rains, Accra will flood. He said, according to him, flooding was once an occasional occurrence happening every few years, but has now become an annual reality. He said, we used to experience floods once a while, perhaps once in 10 years, 5 years, or even 20 years. Today, we know with certainty that Accra will flood every year, whether it's during the rainy season or not, he stated. Engineer Hesse attributed the situation to decades of unregulated development that have destroyed the city's natural flood control system. So let's take it as the president did say when he came to London last Sunday during the town hall meeting, that if the president or if the goes on the path to destroy, government said that we need to destroy buildings that are in waterways or stuff like that, people will be saying, hey, and the president and the government are destroying people's properties. What a nice building, but the people are built in the waterways. And then those who have been approving, those who work in the town and planning, who keep on approving permits for such buildings to be put in place. I bet it's time that we imprison them and punish them severely so that people will deter from that. But whatever thing that have been done so far, I've not said as a deterrent to them. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why I have to bring the program to a close. Thank you very much for all tuning in today to listen to us. Tomorrow, we'll be back with a program. Yes. Keeping fingers and everything crossed, we might have our money man joining in, and I'll be bringing you what you got to know. But until then, good afternoon. Have a lovely day. It is me, your one and only Archie. When this advert ends and you don't hear from me, I'm out like that. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye for now.
Running a business or managing your personal finances? Let GIL Accountancy Services take the stress away. As trusted chartered accountants and business advisors, we help you stay compliant, save tax, and grow with confidence. Whether you're self-employed, a landlord, run a limited company, or a charity, our tailored solutions are built for you. Claim your free initial consultation today. Call 079-61-248-834 or email Dan at gilaccountants.com. GIL Accountancy Services, your partners in success.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.